Okay, so warm up. We are going to go, if you have a jump rope, it's going to start out with just one set of 50 single skips into 50 double unders if we have double unders, or we could practice them for approximately a minute would work. And if we don't have double unders or we don't want to practice them, we could just do 50 more single skips, which is fine. If we don't have a jump rope with us, then we can do 100 dot hops. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to lower my camera. Over here, I'm going to lower my camera and show you the dot hops. So basically, I'll make this a little bigger. Basically, I just took some pieces of tape. You don't have to necessarily do this, but just kind of makes it easier. Can you see those? Yeah, 4 pieces of tape there. Basically about like roughly a foot away from each other here and about just outside the shoulders here. And this is pretty simple. Basically, I'm just gonna like jump back, forward, and every like hop is gonna count as one like double under basically. So it'll kind of look like this here. And I can try to speed it up to make it a little more challenging as well. And so if you don't have any like targets, you could just kind of, estimate it. And then we're gonna go, after we finish that part, we'll go 3 rounds. The first movement is gonna be 30 seconds of a Samson hold. So we're gonna go here, interlocking the fingers, extending the arms into a lunge, and then reaching up and back. And we could do about 15 seconds per side. So we'll switch which leg is forward, about 15 seconds in. And then we're gonna go glute bridges. So 15 reps here. So we'll lay on the ground like so. And just drive the hips up, squeezing the glutes at the top, and then back down. So we'll work through 15 of those. And then 30 seconds of Cossack squat. So wide stance, driving the hips back. You can let this foot kind of come up, get as low as I can. If I need to, I could like hold on to a chair or something like that to kind of give me a little counterbalance, or even put my hand on the ground, and that's totally fine. And we're just gonna kind of use that to kind of loosen things up a little bit. And then we go 15 air squats from there. And that is the whole warm up there. So I'll pull it up again on the screen, and I'll get a clock going just to kind of keep us on target here. And then we'll go from there. Okay, so workout's right here. So just 3 stations today in the workout. 18 minutes, as many rounds as we can do. So we just kind of want to find like that groove and just try to settle into it. 18 minutes is not super long, but it's also not short. So we don't want to go too crazy in the beginning. So you can, I like to always try to imagine like how fast do I think I might be moving about 10 minutes into this thing, and try to start at that pace, versus like what I historically do is like start out way too fast, and then 4 minutes in, I'm like, oh crap, I got 14 more minutes type of thing, So just kind of think of that pace, and then trying to build up almost and get a sense of how fast you could go without having to stop too much. And so today we have 2 different slight variations here. We have the top one there is 10 strict toe to bar. So if you happen to have a pull-up bar, we could work through 10 strict toe to bar. If not, we have 10 toe raises, and I'm going to show you guys that here in a second. And then in the middle, 20 alternating dumbbell snatch, and I'll talk about those here as well. Or if we don't have a dumbbell, 20 odd object ground to overhead. And then we could either do 60 double unders or 90 single skips, or below under subs, I have the 60 dot hops to replace if you don't have a jump rope. So just to be clear on the dot hops, each tap counts as a rep basically. So it might be a little tricky to count, but once you go through the thing one time, that's 4 reps basically. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate these movements real quick. Let me stop this screen share here. And let's talk about the toe raises. So I'll lower this guy here. And let's see, excuse the paint buckets. So I have a dumbbell here or some kind of weighted object to hold on to. And then basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold on to it right behind my head. And I'm gonna straighten my legs the best I can. If I can't quite straighten them, I can have a little bend. And then I'm gonna basically reach up and then kind of push at the top and then back down, like so. So I'm getting that little push at the top just to kind of get the stomach a little more. And we want those to be kind of controlled and focused. They really get the stomach pretty darn good. So those are the toe raises. And then we're gonna go into, let's talk about the dumbbell snatch a little bit. So dumbbell snatch, I know you guys have probably done quite a few of these, but just remember the big thing here is making sure that we're keeping our back flat and we're getting low enough, or when we grab the dumbbell, we're keeping that chest up still. We don't want to end up going here too much or like starting to round. And we also don't want to start pulling with your arm too early. So you want to really think about here, legs, hips, and then shrug, pull. So just try to remember that the chain of events is legs first and then arms at the last second. So a couple reps might look like this. If I have the mobility, we want both heads to touch the ground. If not, I'll just touch one head on the ground. So here, big drive up and punch. I'll switch hands straight between the feet. Or I can switch on the ground. We just want to find a good pace for those 20 reps that we can keep working through. If I don't have a dumbbell, we're gonna go backpack or sandbag or whatever you have from the ground to over your head. So I'm just gonna touch it on the floor right between my feet, thinking of all those same rules. And then we'll drive it up overhead, keeping it close to the body. And I'm gonna work through 20 of those guys there. And I think that's kind of it. Bring that workout back up. Let's see, I'm gonna try to make the clock a little bigger for you guys. See, I don't know if that's even helpful, but there's no way to zoom in.
What's the point of the object behind your head and the toe raises?
Oh, like you don't have to do it, but it kind of just gives you something to like
hold on to help?
Yeah, like it makes it where I could keep it a little more strict and not have to like do any like flopping around or anything, if that makes sense, or like using momentum from my upper body.
For sure.
So it goes 5 giant sets, which a giant set just means I go from one movement right into the next without a rest. And then after these 3 movements, we work through them in succession, and then we rest 1 minute and then repeat basically. So starts out with 5 jumping squats. So on those, I'm gonna actually, again, make the screen bigger here. So on the jumping squats, we wanna do those where we're like trying to jump higher, like, you know, to get it more out of it. So like I'll go into a full squat. I'm gonna go all the way down and then jump like as pretty much as high as I can, I guess, for those 5. And then we're gonna go into 10 lemon squeezes. So I'll try to show you that down here. It's almost like a VM kind of. So basically go into like a hollow hold, like so. But then I'm gonna pull my hands or my knees towards my chest, like so, back out. So that's the lemon squeeze. So 10 of those, and then straight into just 15 seconds of hollow rocks. So let's try to keep everything tight for those. And then no problem, then we just rest a minute and do it again. The doggies are playing in the background. So, yeah, we can jump into that whenever you guys are feeling good. I know you just did a really intense